Ladies and gentlemen, love is a funny thing. Women, we all want it, but men, they've got a whole secret manual that they don't hand out. And I'm here to tell you there are 3 very important stages a man goes through before he ever says those 3 little words, I love you. Now listen closely, because if you understand these stages, you'll never be left wondering if he's serious or just playing around. You see, ladies, the first thing a man does before he ever says, I love you, is he gets curious. And I'm not talking about some casual, passing curiosity like, oh, what's for dinner tonight? No, I'm talking about deep, genuine curiosity about who you are as a person. A man starts noticing the little things, the way you laugh when something tickles you, the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love, the way you move through the world with confidence or sometimes with hesitation. He pays attention because he's trying to figure you out. And let me tell you, this is crucial, because a man who is curious about you is a man who is considering opening his heart. Now, some women think curiosity is just flirting, or maybe he's just being nice. But ladies, I'm here to tell you curiosity goes beyond surface level charm. It's not about a text here or a compliment there. It's about remembering the things you say without you reminding him. It's about noticing your favorite coffee order, the song that makes you tear up, the little habits that make you, well, you. He's not just watching, he's learning, and he's deciding in that quiet way inside himself whether you are someone he can trust with more than just a night out or a casual date. Curiosity is also a testing ground. You see, a man wants to know if he can rely on you, if he can respect you, if he can build a connection that matters. He watches how you react to challenges, how you handle people who aren't kind, how you treat those who can't do anything for you. He is curious about your values, your dreams, your fears, and even your flaws. Because let me tell you, ladies, a man who is serious about love is not looking for perfection. He's looking for authenticity, and curiosity is his way of making sure the person he's interested in is real, not just an image, not just someone who looks good on Instagram. During this stage, he will pay attention to your moods, your smiles, and even the silences between your words. He's learning how you communicate, what makes you tick, and how he can fit into that space. This is the stage where he builds the mental map of who you are and what he wants from a relationship with you. He's careful because he knows that love is a big deal and he doesn't want to jump in without understanding the terrain. And here's the thing, ladies, if a man is curious, you'll notice it. He'll ask questions, not just the casual, how was your day? But the questions that dig deeper, that require thought and honesty. And when he does this, you should lean into it, because curiosity is the first sign that he's considering something serious, that he's seeing you as more than just a date or a fling. He's seeing you as a partner, a confidante, someone who might one day hold his heart. So curiosity isn't just interest. It's the beginning of intention. It's the first stage in a man's journey toward love, and it's powerful. Pay attention to it ladies, because this is where the seeds of something real are planted, and from this stage, everything else begins to grow. Now, ladies, once a man's curiosity has been piqued, once he's paying attention to the little things that make you, the next stage he enters is testing. And I don't mean like a little pop quiz in school. I mean the kind of testing that reveals whether you're someone he can truly count on, someone who can stand beside him when life gets messy. You see, men don't hand out, "I love you," like candy at Halloween. No, they make sure first they test. They want to see if your words and actions match, if your heart and mind are aligned. A man will test your patience, ladies. He might push your buttons a little, not to annoy you, but to see how you handle frustration, disappointment, or even disagreements. Because love isn't just about smiling together at a fancy dinner or laughing at the same joke. Love is about sticking it out when things aren't easy. And a man who is serious about you will quietly put situations in front of you to see if you rise to the occasion. How you react tells him volumes. Are you compassionate when he makes a mistake? Do you stand your ground when principles are at stake? He's watching even when you think he's not. He also tests your boundaries. And let me tell you, ladies, this isn't a bad thing. He's seeing if you respect yourself, if you know what you will and will not tolerate, and if he can respect that too. Because a man who's ready to love isn't looking for someone who bends to every whim. He wants a partner who knows her worth, who has standards, and who demands respect. And when he tests this, he's seeing if your strength matches his level of commitment, if you're someone who can handle the real challenges of a relationship without losing yourself. A man may also test your loyalty. He might see how you react in social situations, how you talk about him when he's not around, or how you handle attention from others. These tests aren't about mistrust. They're about security. He wants to know that when he gives you his heart, you won't break it with carelessness. He wants to know that he can count on you to be consistent, dependable, and authentic. And here's the thing, ladies, testing isn't always obvious. It can be subtle, quiet, and even invisible to the untrained eye. But if you watch closely, you'll notice patterns. He'll do things to see if you respond with patience, understanding, and grace. He'll notice if your actions match your words. And when you pass these tests, when you show that you're real, steady, and capable of loving wisely, he moves closer to the next stage, commitment in action. So remember this, testing is not a game. It's a man's way of protecting his heart while he figures out if you're the real deal. It's how he ensures that when he finally says, "I love you," it's not just empty words. It's measured, intentional, and sincere. And ladies, that kind of love, that's worth waiting for. Now, ladies, once a man has been curious and tested the waters, the next stage before he says, "I love you," is what I like to call commitment in action. And let me tell you, this is where the real difference shows between a man who's serious and a man who's just playing around. Because any man can talk about love, any man can flirt, any man can make promises that sound sweet. But actions, ladies, actions are the real proof. Actions show that he's ready to invest himself fully in you, in your relationship, and in your future together. You'll notice it in the little sacrifices he makes. Maybe he drives a little further than he has to just to see you. Maybe he rearranges his schedule to fit yours. Maybe he chooses to spend time listening to you when he's tired after a long day. These may seem like small things, but ladies, these are the building blocks of trust, because love is not a feeling you just say out loud. Love is a choice you make every single day, and a man showing commitment in action makes those choices repeatedly without you even asking. He will prioritize you in ways that matter. And I'm not talking about grand gestures for social media applause. I'm talking about quiet, meaningful acts that show you are important to him. Maybe it's remembering your favorite coffee, sending a message that says, "I'm thinking of you," supporting your dreams, encouraging you when you doubt yourself. When a man is acting in commitment, his consistency speaks louder than any words he could say. You see, words can be empty, but actions, they tell the truth. You'll also notice he's making plans for the future, not just next week or next month, but months and even years down the line. He's talking about vacations together, introducing you to important people in his life, maybe even discussing things like family and long-term goals. That's commitment in action, ladies, because it's a sign that he sees you not as a temporary fling, but as a partner, a teammate, someone he can count on when life gets complicated. And here's another thing: a man showing commitment in action will protect your heart. He won't play games with your emotions. He won't disappear without explanation. He won't make you guess where you stand. He will communicate. He will show up. He will be present. And when he consistently does this, you know he's not just infatuated, he's invested. So when you see these actions, ladies, pay attention. Notice the sacrifices, the prioritization, the planning, the protection. This is the stage where love is being built brick by brick, moment by moment. And when a man finally says, "I love you," after showing all of this, you can be confident that it's real. Not rushed, not casual, not because of pressure or expectation, but because he's committed to you with everything he has. And that, my friends, is a love worth cherishing. Ladies, let me tell you something about love. Men don't rush into saying, "I love you." That's right. They don't just blurt it out on a whim or because it sounds good in the moment. A man who truly loves is patient. And when I say patient, I don't mean waiting because he's unsure or because he's afraid. I mean, he waits because he knows that love is serious. And once he says it, there's no taking it back. Patience is a man's way of protecting his heart, and more importantly, it's his way of honoring yours. Now, a lot of women get frustrated because they feel like men are slow, like they're dragging their feet. But patience is not laziness, and it's not avoidance. It's intention. A man who is patient watches, observes, and evaluates the connection. He's taking the time to understand you, to make sure that you are someone he can build a lasting relationship with. He wants to be sure that when he finally says, I love you, those words carry weight and meaning, not just empty promises that fade with time. You see, ladies, love is not just about excitement or chemistry. Love is about stability, trust, and timing. And a man who is patient understands that. He knows that rushing into love can lead to heartbreak, disappointment, and regrets. So he holds back until he's confident that the foundation is solid. He watches how you handle challenges, how you communicate, how you respond to life's ups and downs. Patience gives him the chance to see the real you, not just the version of you that exists in fleeting moments of joy or attraction. Patience also shows respect. A patient man respects your heart. He doesn't want to say, I love you, until he knows he can back it up. He doesn't want to use those words as a tool to manipulate or pressure you. He wants them to be genuine. And when a man is patient, he gives the relationship space to grow naturally. He allows the feelings to develop, to deepen, and to mature into something meaningful. And here's the thing, ladies, patience is also about trust. Trust in himself, trust in you, and trust in the timing of love. He believes that if it's meant to be, it will happen at the right moment. He doesn't force it. He doesn't rush it. And he doesn't settle for less than what he knows is real. And when he finally speaks those words, I love you, they are not just words. They are a promise, a declaration, a moment of truth that comes from careful thought, genuine emotion, and unwavering intention. So understand this, ladies, patience is not a sign of indifference or lack of feeling. It is a sign of respect, wisdom, and true care. A man who is patient is a man who values love enough to wait for it to be real. And when he finally says those words, you will know that they are meant, that they are sincere, and that they come from a heart that has waited for the right moment to give you everything it has to offer. Ladies, let me tell you something about a man who's getting ready to say, I love you. Before those words ever come out, he's paying attention to something very important, your vulnerabilities. And I'm not talking about the cute little things like when you blush or when you giggle at a joke. No, I'm talking about the deep stuff, the raw stuff, the things that make you. A man who is serious about love will watch closely to see if you can open up to him, if you can trust him with the parts of yourself that you don't show everyone else. Because love isn't just about admiration or attraction, it's about trust, honesty, and the courage to be fully seen. When a man observes your vulnerabilities, he's seeing how much of yourself you can share and still feel safe. He's listening for your fears, your regrets, your dreams that you might not even tell your closest friends. He notices when you hesitate to speak about something painful or when your eyes tell a story your words cannot. And if he's paying attention, ladies, he'll respond with patience, care, and understanding. He's testing whether he can be a safe place for your heart before he risks giving you his own. This stage is crucial because a man's love is only as strong as his willingness to be vulnerable in return. He won't say, I love you, until he's ready to reveal his own fears, weaknesses, and insecurities to you. And when he does, it's powerful because vulnerability is not a weakness. It's the foundation of true intimacy. He wants to know if you're someone who can accept him fully without judgment, without trying to change him. He wants to see if you can handle the real man behind the smile, the humor, and the charm. You'll notice that during this stage, he might share small pieces of himself, little truths that matter, and watch how you respond. If you are compassionate, understanding, and supportive, he sees that as a sign that he can take the next step. He's looking for emotional reciprocity. He wants to know that when he opens up completely, you won't walk away. He's observing how you respond when he's honest about his past mistakes, his fears, or his dreams. Because, ladies, love is not just about feeling good together. It's about being able to stand in the storm together and still hold each other's hearts. A man's observation of vulnerabilities also tells him if you are genuine. He can tell when you're authentic, when you hide behind facades, and when you allow him to see your real self. He wants to know that he's not just falling in love with a version of you that doesn't exist. He wants to love the real you in all your imperfections and all your strengths. And when he finally says, I love you, it's not a casual declaration. It's a promise that he has seen you fully and he still chooses to give you his heart completely and unreservedly. So understand this, ladies. Observing vulnerabilities is a man's way of preparing to love deeply. It's his way of ensuring that when he commits, it's real, it's lasting, and it's built on trust. And that, my friends, is how love becomes something true and powerful. Ladies, now we come to the final stage before a man ever says, I love you. And this one right here separates the boys from the men. I'm talking about consistency over time. You see, a man can say the words, he can flirt, he can make promises, but if his actions don't match his words consistently, those I love yous mean nothing. Real love is built over time, brick by brick, moment by moment, and a man who is ready to love will show up for you again and again without fail. Consistency is not about grand gestures. It's not about expensive gifts or dramatic declarations. No, it's about showing up in the little everyday ways that matter. He remembers your favorite coffee. He calls when he says he will. He supports you when life gets messy. He makes time for you even when it's inconvenient. Ladies, these small, repeated actions are louder than any words could ever be, because a man who is consistent is a man who can be counted on, a man who proves over and over that you matter to him, not just in the moments that are easy or convenient, but in the moments that test him. Over time, consistency builds trust, and trust, ladies, is the foundation of love. A man who is consistent doesn't make you guess where you stand. He doesn't disappear without explanation. He doesn't hot and cold you to see how you react. He communicates, he follows through, and he proves that his interest in you is genuine. You'll start to notice patterns, how he handles your happiness, how he handles conflict, how he shows up when it counts. And when all of these patterns line up, that's when you know deep down that his love is real and sustainable, Consistency also demonstrates patience and commitment combined. Because it takes effort to be consistent, life is busy, unpredictable, and challenging, but a man who loves will make a conscious effort to be present in your life, to support you, to prioritize you, and to do so repeatedly. He doesn't rely on a feeling in the moment. He relies on intentional action over time. That's what sets apart a man who is ready to say, I love you, from a man who just wants temporary excitement. And let me tell you, ladies, consistency over time shows you his values. It shows what he prioritizes, how he treats the people he cares about, and whether he's capable of sustaining a healthy, committed relationship. When a man is consistent, he proves that his words are backed up by actions, that his promises are not empty, and that his heart is serious. So pay attention to consistency, ladies. Notice the repeated efforts, the small sacrifices, the unwavering support, the communication, and the reliability. This is the stage where love is tested and proven. And when a man who has been consistent over time finally says, I love you, you don't have to question it. Those words are earned, sincere, and built on a foundation strong enough to withstand the challenges of real life. And that, my friends, is how you know you've got a man who is truly ready to love,